Welcome back, sweaty sinners. This is the Devil's Discourse hitting your ears in a heat wave. We're your light relief from climate grief, the cool retreat from searing heat, putting ice-cold pads on your sweaty nads. And with me today, I have Ligeia.
Hail Satan.
I have Pike.
Hail Satan.
I have Leraje.
Satan.
And I have our very special guest from the United States, from the First Church of the Morningstar, Pastor Johnny.
Hail Satan.
Pastor Johnny, first of all, to start off, tell us a general rundown about what the First Church of the Morningstar is and what kind of things you do.
Okay, so First Church of the Morningstar is a theistic, left-hand path, mainly satanic church, existing at this point mainly online, although there is an in-person congregation in San Francisco, California. We were founded in 2019. We were founded because we had noticed, there's a lot of theistic Satanists who are left-wing, who are what I would consider to be right-thinking, progressive people. Mm. There are very few theistic satanic organizations which are not far right. So back in 2019, we were looking at what was out there, and if you were sort of left-leaning, progressive, or just not a flaming Nazi asshole, you could be in maybe Church of Satan, you could be in the Satanic Temple. If you were theistic, that wouldn't necessarily be the most appropriate venue for that. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to fill a niche that we knew existed because we were in online communities of theistic Satanists on Discord, on Tumblr, various places. We just had nowhere to go. So that's why we exist, essentially. When I say theistic Satanist, I'm sure you'll have questions about that. We definitely allow people who are atheist and agnostic, and theism might not look the way you expect it to look. But generally speaking, we're people who do magic, who believe in the devil as some kind of existing energy or force or personality, etc. Or at least believe in that on good days when we're feeling optimistic.
There's also, from looking at your website, it's not just sort of Samael, Lucifer, Satan. There are a whole host of other kind of left-hand paths.
Yes. So we're polytheistic Satanists, frankly. And we also have a little bit of a big tent approach in general, because theistic Satanism is not that big. And because there's a number of sort of more darkly inclined pagans who don't feel quite welcome in certain pagan spaces. For example, maybe someone who, we say we worship scary gods, essentially. So people who are into Loki or the Morrigan or Hecate or, deities that freak people out. Deities that get kind of a bad rep. That's all welcome.
Okay, excellent. Mm-hmm. Right. Folks, fire away with your questions. Who wants to go first?
This wasn't one of my questions, but it just cropped up now listening. Mm-hmm. When you said the theistic Satanism, it might not be what you imagine. It might not look what you think. What does it look like?
Okay, so in so many ways. First of all, I was saying theism might not look what you think it looks like. I actually went to a seminary. I went to a progressive, multi-religious seminary in California called, I was at Star King School for the Ministry, which is a Unitarian Universalist seminary that took me because the UUs will take anyone. And that was part of a consortium called the Graduate Theological Union, which is just this beautiful clusterfuck of all these different seminaries, religious studies centers. You know, you've got Jewish studies, you have the Center for Islamic Studies, I can't remember if that actually had been added yet. Dharma studies, you know, various kinds of Christianity, whatever. I used to be a militant atheist, personally, and if you still are, rad. Going to seminary, I realized that progressive, educated religious people are just not the way that a lot of movement atheists imagine much of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The theist that most movement atheists think of is often based on an American right-wing fundamentalist Christian. I met many religious people who I think believe less than I do. And I have a degree of skepticism and groundedness in my belief that, you know, some people would assume that I'm agnostic because I'm not sure. But I think agnosticism is sort of a redundant word for what a progressive religious person is like. There's an anecdote that someone told me. It was actually, I believe, an Anglican whose mom was like, "Why are you an atheist?" This atheist child of Anglicans, and well, Mom, it's because I don't believe in God, or well, Mum, I suppose, since they're an Anglican. And their mother goes, "Well, just because you don't believe in God, that's no reason to be an atheist. I don't believe in God, and I go to church." See, my point is there's a spectrum of belief within so-called religious people. In terms of what theistic Satanism looks like versus what you might assume, I mean, we are very, very DIY. We have a bit of a punk rock sentiment. We have a lot of chaos magic influence. So to be quite frank, our theistic Satanism could look like fucking anything. Like, I've talked for a bit. Let someone ask me a question to get me back on track, because I can really rattle on.
I think I have one that would nicely bridge this. Yeah, this is a simple, I think. So for me, it's interesting that you mentioned all these gods, demons, whatever. So let's say we choose Lucifer as an example. Okay. So your approach is you take what has been written, the imagery that is existing, or you create or co-create what you think Lucifer or the demon, whichever that is.
Both. Very much both. Yeah.
How do you agree then?
well, okay. Every religion has to create a canon, right? You know, it's not like the Bible is just every single Jewish and Christian text ever written. It's absolutely not. That's why there's Apocrypha and Pseudepigrapha and all these other texts. So, you know, some people will be like, "Oh, you can't cherry pick." Everyone cherry picks because anyone can say anything. We're not pretending that anything written by humans is infallibly divinely inspired or channeled. So yes, absolutely, we can pick and choose. We can also, you know, choose by studying what's the oldest and finding things that kind of seem to agree with each other. You know, when I said every religion has to create a canon, I'm going to walk that back. I believe we shouldn't have a canon. I believe we should be allowed to pick and choose and continue to have religious writings, continue to have revelation or prophecy, if you want to use those kinds of terms, continue to have inspiration, and continue to have debate.
That sounds very much like what you were saying earlier about the DIY approach that you take.
Yes, absolutely.
So what works for you and for what works for another? Yeah.
What works for you, but also we believe in research. I'm very big on the history of ideas. And I love reading up on, you know, where these various demons come from and looking into the history. And tracing back as far as I can and seeing what feels like positive and usable, what doesn't. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's certainly a lot of common ground I hear there between what you're doing and what we kind of do.
Yeah.
The only difference being is we're non-theistic, or we're specifically atheistic, because ours is a sort of DIY. We can make up our own religion kind of thing as well. And also, you're mentioning on the theistic side that there wasn't a lot that wasn't far right fascist. There are, organizations like Order of the Nine Angles or whatever who claim to be theistic Satanists. They're white supremacist dickheads that kind of like to commit violent crimes. And you're going, well, if that's what you think Satanism is, then you are literally living out the Christian idea of what Satan is, like the bad guy.
Yes.
That's not really Satanist, because, your figurehead should be the good guy, the one who does well. If you're just kind of going, we're doing evil, then you're going, well, you're just
fulfilling the Bible.
Fucking Roman Catholic Church, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, also, yes, absolutely. I always think that the most important division between Satanists is people who like Satan because they think Satan is good, and people who like Satan because they think Satan is bad. It's not I think the important division between Satanists is not theist versus atheist so much as it is people who like Satan because they think Satan is good, and people who like Satan because they think Satan is bad.
Yeah.
I also think that Ona, is a fucking joke on so many levels. They have the nerve to call themselves traditional Satanists and claim that they're doing the real Satanism. But when you actually look into their stupid fucking beliefs, it's like sort of Lovecraftian made up crap. And they all, care about their space Nazi Jesus Windex or whatever his name is. And, it's just dumb. It's just stupid fucking bullshit from stupid fucking David Myatt, and fuck them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could not agree more.
Yeah, and I hate how much. I don't know if even though it started in the UK, I don't know if you guys are having as much problems with ONA-inspired domestic terrorism as we are over here.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. God. Yeah, we have so much.
Really? Wow.
Oh, you haven't been following this? My goodness. I can send you, or I can talk about it now. Either way.
Definitely send us stuff. We'd like to hear about that.
Well, in brief, so in sort of the Trump 1.0 era, there was this group called Atomwaffen Division.
Yeah.
Which they got sort of taken over by an Order of Nine Angles influence. Mm-hmm. And then there's been some other ones, but the sort of major, vaguely ONA-inspired thing happening over here now is 764 and related groups. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're not, I think they're even more sort of loosely ONA-inspired, but, they're hideous. And there's been a couple of sort of individual domestic terrorists as well who had ONA inspiration.
I think that sort of thing happens or seems to happen more in the US because I think religion as a whole is a lot more of like you were saying earlier, it's a very cultural thing. It's in a way that it isn't really over here.
What about the other very glaring reason?
Donald.
Americans got guns.
That too.
Well, yeah.
We do indeed.
Yeah.
It is.
Although Scandinavia gets a decent amount of Satanist terrorism too, and I think their gun laws are pretty strict. Yeah.
Let's not talk about Varg and Burzum.
Fuck Burzum.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can I ask a question about how it's got to be, given that, religion is such a big cultural thing in America, in the US, how tricky or problematic or difficult, whatever word suits the situation better, is it for a theistic Satanist organization to currently sort of operate and exist? Because you seem to be thriving.
We are. So what we have done is we had aspirations to be a 501c3 tax exempt religious nonprofit that we have basically dropped until after Trump is gone, because he's been very explicit about wanting to go after nonprofits. You know, he says that he's going after, you know, terrorist groups or whatever, but actual underground groups are hard to find. So instead he's going after like registered nonprofits and trying to like portray them as whatever the list was, you know, anti-Christian, anti-American, communist, terrorist, etc. So we're kind of letting our legal status lapse right now. But that's kind of okay because we have no money. Like, seriously, we have no money. To be perfectly accurate, we have a bank account that has like $500 in it that we use for things like web hosting. No one's getting paid. This is all volunteer. We don't have any property. You know, being a tax exempt religious nonprofit was kind of a like, it was more of a like legitimacy thing at this point for us, more of a like, hey, look at us, we're official. It doesn't really benefit or have any use for our organization at the moment. You know,
well,
hopefully someday.
Apart from anything else, it can put a target on your back, I would think, at the moment.
Exactly. So at the moment, all it would do is put a target on our back and not really give us any benefits. Hopefully someday we'll like have a physical location and we'll be able to do all these things that we've dreamed of, like having a homeless shelter and, you know, various like things that we think churches should be doing that churches don't do very much anymore, essentially.
Right.
But for now...
Sorry, didn't you mention that you had some kind of physical presence in California?
We do. But it's you know, in-person meetings and religious services that kind of happen wherever they can be had. And I miss that. I'm in Rhode Island now, so I'm on the East Coast. And Providence, Rhode Island is a pretty cool city. We have some spooky qualities. You know, H.P. Lovecraft is from here. Fuck him, he's a racist, but he's fun and spooky. Actually, Necronomicon is going on right now, which is the every 2 years weird fiction convention in Providence. But there hasn't been as much base for an in-person satanic congregation in Providence as I was hoping when I moved here. So I basically run the online church. And we started the online church, you know, during lockdown, essentially. And then it allowed us to grow like crazy because suddenly people from all over the US and even to some extent internationally can be here. So that's how we got as big as we are, honestly. And sorry, go ahead.
Go on, Lithos, sorry. I'll wait for you.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, yes, it is. I mean, we got no money thing. Yes, we're all doing this. We got no money. We sell T-shirts and stuff online, and any profit we make from that goes to charities.
How much money do we have right now?
No.
In the bank account, about 27 quid.
Yeah.
Because we tend to donate that to a charity of choice. As soon as we get a certain amount. So we'll pick one, we'll do a campaign for one, and then the money goes out. So all the podcast, everything else, we finance. So
out of pocket,
I
mean, honestly, the only real reason that we have that much money sitting around is because we were raising money for the 501c3 application fee, which was like $600. And so we had that and a little bit more, and then we ended up spending some money on like web hosting and, you know, various other minimal expenses. So I'll probably go to the church and be like, hey, do we want to like keep this sitting around for later? Do we want to donate some of it? Honestly, I would love to have a mutual aid fund for our congregation at some point, because who are our congregants? Poor trans people in the South and in Middle America. That's what I got. That's who I'm ministering to at this point. And there's a lot of people who get in real bad financial straits a lot of the time. So before we start donating to other charities, I would prefer to have the mutual aid fund for our congregation more established.
That makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah.
You can't help other people unless you're healthy yourselves.
Yeah, we are poor as a congregation. Yeah.
Okay,
just as
surprised me. Oh,
sorry.
Carry on.
No, you go, Lithos. It's all right. Go on.
It kind of surprised me when you said Trump was going after non-profits, but then I'm thinking, Christ, of course, because he has no concept of not for profit, you know, and you know, if you've got no money and you're not for profit, you're going to be in his target because you're probably a communist and a loser, and he has no concept of like not making money from something.
No,
well, and also again, you know, essentially liberal nonprofits are above ground. He can find them. People have heard of them. Whereas, you know, like an anarchist cell, that's hard to find. You know, that's hard to prosecute. So, I mean, like, there's most recently, he's been trying to act like the Southern Poverty Law Center actually, like, funded the entire Unite the Right rally. You know, the big, horrible, famous Nazi rally during his first term, because what was exposed is that SPLC had some paid informants in the far right circles.
Right.
Now, that is not the same as Unite the Right was an op created by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you suborned a couple Nazis to get some info from them.
That's a bit like blaming undercover cops for creating crime. You know?
Exactly, which in some cases it actually does kind of go that far. But, you know, like I talked about Atomwaffen division. It turned out the main guy in Atomwaffen, I forget his fucking name at the moment, was on like the FBI bankroll because he was an informant. So did they fund Atomwaffen division? Not really.
Yeah.
Kinda, a little bit, but, you know, that's not what they meant to do.
So I'm sort of really interested in how, so at the moment you're kind of concentrating on mutual aid, which is completely understandable. As a collective, Helltraef have a particular way of going about things in terms of raising money, in terms of doing this, that, and the other. What does that look like is there a particular, do you think there's a different approach that a theistic satanic organization might take?
So I think, yes, I think that when we started, we expected to be doing kind of more advocacy of the type that like the Satanic Temple has a reputation for doing. However effective that actually is, I have many criticisms.
Yes.
And as good, thank you. As a theistic Satanist group, we found ourselves doing much more essentially like emotional care, which I think is what we as a theistic group might be arguably better positioned to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's entirely possible to do atheistic pastoral care. And in fact, I know many atheists who went to my seminary and were trained in that.
Yeah.
But there are not as many atheists who have that training, and I do. So it's not therapy. Obviously, I don't have that license. It's counseling. So that's one thing I do, and sort of providing the community and the emotional support and the comfort to, like I said, many of these people. I was about to call them kids. We don't have anyone under 18, but we have young adults, and to me, they're my kids, who are, like I said, very isolated. They're in the Midwest, they're in the Deep South. Many of them are kind of millennials and Zoomers who have failed to launch because the economy is horrible. So they're stuck at home in some cases with horrible Christian conservative family. Or even the family is so horrible and Christian and conservative that they're kind of being kept back, as the daughter who's supposed to marry and isn't supposed to, be outside of the home before that, in spite of the fact that many of the so-called daughters who are in that situation are transgender men, who aren't able to come out and be the men that they are. It's
so I think what you're saying is it's a lot of it at the moment is kind of like communal.
It's community
based.
It's like spiritual and emotional care.
Yeah.
And then mutual aid a lot of the time is, just, someone saying, hey, like, I'm in trouble. And then, we kick in what we can and, that kind of thing. And then the other thing that we do is education, or we're trying to focus more on political education, as well as religious, of course. But when you talk about sort of advocacy and political activity, I would say that's the other thing that we really are focused on.
That's really amazing. That's really fantastic. Doing that kind of work. Wow, respect.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, like I said, I was expecting this to be a little more outward, and we've ended up more sort of inward. And for now, that's okay.
I think that's a natural response to sort of like, it's protection. You have to protect your own community first, I think.
Yeah, and then, like it also provides this network where people can be like, okay, I need to move. And then they might actually know someone from the church, could be across the country, someone could be fleeing a red state to a bluer state and be able to find like someone to move in with temporarily, or, get connected to community where they're going. And that's something that has started to happen. I think that will become more effective and more accessible as we grow more and more.
Yeah. That's great. That's really good.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yes.
I just had a quick one going back a little bit to theistic Satanism. Would you say all of your members are polytheistic?
Yes. Yeah. I would say that all of our members are either polytheistic or atheist agnostic, but sort of symbolically polytheistic, if that makes sense.
Yes.
We don't really have anyone who's into the one true God is Satan, because that's actually kind of counter to our ethos.
Yeah.
We don't like one true gods, even if they're Satan,
That's sort of going back to Abrahamic faith, really, the one true God thing. If you're going to do a different thing, you're going to kind of stand against that, then polytheism makes more sense to me, at least.
Oh, I agree. And when you actually look back into the Bible and some of the passages that are the origins of certain demons, notably Astaroth and Baal, who becomes Beelzebub and Belphegor and various other demons, the struggle of monotheism against polytheism is the source of demonization. That's how it begins.
Do not worship false gods kind of thing. And it
Yes,
is gods.
exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Because they're very bad, very bad. You should also worship the really good ones.
Yeah.
I'm afraid a lot of them are a lot cooler than the one we're supposed to be following. He's a bit of a twat.
You know, I mean, so Baal, it's funny, I mostly focus on Lucifer, but this is kind of turning into the ballroom. As it were. Wow, I didn't mean that to be a pun. I have this piece back here that's actually a Baal sigil on this like weird.
It is beautiful.
I'm
staring at it. Yeah, it's
I
so
found
beautiful.
this painting. You can't really see on the camera, but at the top it's like a fly. And I just found this on the street, and I was like, I'm going to put Beelzebub's sigil on it, and Anyway, he's interesting because Baal and Yahweh were such direct rivals that when you go and you look at the Baal cycle, which is what's left of this ancient Canaanite epic, you will find things that are word for word in the Bible, but they say it's Yahweh instead of Baal doing them. So if you look at the Baal cycle, which is the ancient Canaanite poetry about Baal, you will find phrases that are word for word also in the Bible, except they say it's Yahweh who did this, not Baal. And we don't really know which text came first because they were such direct rivals. So, like the Canaanites are saying, no, Baal is the rider on the clouds. Baal, defeated this serpent. And then, no, like Yahweh is the rider on the clouds. Yahweh defeated the Leviathan. Like it's the same shit. Yeah. So it's really fascinating. Yeah.
And again goes to show. Sorry, carry on.
Yes, be sorry, please.
Tell him, Ligeia.
I will. When you're talking about this is my So, if you could share maybe two things. When you do your rituals or whatever connections, whatever you call it, I don't know how you work with this demonology. Sure. Yeah. It can be either private, like for your own needs, or as you say, you're online. So do you have online rituals or maybe in person?
We sure do have online mass. In fact, we have online mass tonight. Ooh. It is every other Saturday in the evening. And then back in San Francisco, they have in-person mass once a month. And what that consists of is really all over the place. Tonight, we happen to be doing something that is very similar to what people would imagine for Satanism, because we're doing our massive blasphemy, which is what we call essentially the Black Mass that we created.
Okay.
And, there's going to be... Yeah, no.
Blasphemy. Ligeia's lightened up immediately.
I can't sit anymore. Hi.
Hi, yes. No, there's going to be like a nude priestess sitting by the altar, and we're going to rip up a Bible. Yay. I'm going to like a little bit of self-flagellation for me, spitting on and breaking the communion host and spitting out the wine and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes we go there. Yes. Okay. And then sometimes we're doing chaos magic, and it could be seem just incredibly silly and non-threatening. At our first mass ever, someone lit a candle in honor of Pikachu. So that could happen. All of this coexists, from the very, seemingly very dark and serious and intense ritual magic to the most irreverent, silliest, Discordian or pop culture chaos magic. Yeah, it's really all over the place. We have sermons, which are often a lot of the time it'll be me kind of presenting my research when I preach. I'm not the only one who preaches. Talking about, here's this demon, here's the texts that they were drawn from and how they evolved over time. and that'll be sort of like a religious studies kind of thing. And then often at the end of that, I'll be like, and here is the theistic story or myth that we could construct out of this. Because we don't take any of our myths literally. I'm getting onto a tangent again. You tried to ask me what Mass was like.
Anything you want to share.
Okay. I have ADHD, can you tell?
Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Very, very common among Satanists.
You don't say.
Yeah. So, for example, the myth of the Garden of Eden. I actually basically became a Satanist through Genesis 3. When I was a kid, I was sent to Waldorf school, what I think you folks over there might call Steiner school. Is anyone familiar with this shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a cult. It's a cult. It sucks. It's a cult. Don't send your kid to it. One of the many weird culty things they would do is they would force us to watch these weird little religious pageants that would be put on by the teachers multiple times a year. They had like a nativity one. They had a Three Kings one. And they had the Paradise play, which is the Garden of Eden story. And I had to watch this shit so many times that I realized that the snake was right. You know, that's it. That's it. And, you know, here I am in 6th grade going, the snake is right. God's misogynist and doesn't want you to eat fresh fruit or have knowledge. Fuck this. This story sucks on every level. But I think that the Garden of Eden story, when you read it satanically, is actually so profound. And in a certain way is true. Not in a Adam and Eve literally existed and we're all descended from them and there was a talking snake in a garden, but in the sense that this is a story about growing up. This is a story about you hit adolescence, you start asking hard questions, you rebel against your parents, your sex drive kicks in, and then eventually you got to leave home and make it on your own in the harsh world.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good. I like that.
So that myth is not something that happened. It's something that happens all the fucking time. And to me, that's what a good myth is.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
a metaphor for something extremely real.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. That's really good.
Yeah. And I can feel that these entities seem to exist on some level to me. With my chaos magic influence, I do kind of think that maybe we made them exist through the power of belief.
Does it matter to you?
No, it doesn't really matter to me where they come from.
Right.
It matters to me that I experience them in certain ways. I
Yeah.
check in with myself. I make sure I've been taking my meds correctly if I have an experience that's too weird. And most importantly, I ask myself, is this making me a better, happier, less asshole-ish person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
You
all,
know,
right?
If I'm going to believe, is it going to actually benefit me and be adaptive? And can I like check myself before it gets weird in ways that, you know, have lost touch with consensus reality too much?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a great angle to take on that, I think.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the way we approach theism.
Mm.
You know? And sometimes we do things that might seem like totally wackadoodle to people.
Mm.
Like we have channeling,
Yeah.
okay? But the way we cope with that is we're like, you can never be sure if someone's channeling. Just because they say they are doesn't mean they are. And even if they are channeling Satan, you know what? You don't have to do everything Satan says. So, you know, if the message is profound and it's good for you and you want to believe that it comes from there, sure. If you don't want to believe that it comes from there and there's still something good in the message, take it. If it's not working for you on any level, be like, this is bullshit. Disregard.
Do people ever get carried away in a way where it can become I don't know, frightening or problematic in any way?
Wait, let me think about that, actually, because I said no. No. Definitely not on the level of the church. I think in people's private practice, sometimes people will be like, hey, this thing happened. It was weird. I'm freaked out. And then we try and like figure out what's going on. I will tell you that one thing that I experienced with Lucifer is when I believe that Lucifer's around, electronics get fucking weird. And this happens a lot, and I can't prove it has anything to do with anything.
Well, I
But
think he lives in my
all
house
I'm-
then.
Yeah, all
I
I'm saying
absolutely
is
swear.
Leraje's shit was acting up in a way that it never does, apparently. And I was sitting here being like, look, if this is you, I get it. You're around. Can you stop, please?
I'll go and get my supernatural duster and give it a good clean.
Oh,
some
fantastic.
people just don't have that thing with electronics, don't they? I know my grandma, for example, couldn't wear watches because if
Interesting.
they would just, digital watches, they would just
Uh-huh.
die.
That's
Or within
so
a day
weird.
or so.
That's so funny. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And you know what? Like, there could be an explanation for everything that I've experienced, and that's fine.
Well, we know that even if you look for scientific explanations, there is, I don't know, if you look at particle physics or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
God, yeah. I mean, yes. Physics gets fucking weird if you go into depths.
Well, yeah, what did Einstein say? Spooky action at a distance. I mean, that's...
I am interested in trying to actually understand quantum physics sometime soon, because I have noticed it can be taken up by absolute wonks who don't know what the fuck they're saying. Any of you remember a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know?
No.
Good. It's probably more of a like American New Age idiot kind of a thing. The guy who made it ended up in Nexium, if you've heard of that cult. Anyway, it was a very crappy movie about what New Age people think that quantum physics is. So,
The best quote I've heard about quantum physics, I think it was Feynman who said, if you think you understand quantum physics, you don't understand quantum physics. And that's about...
Yeah, that seems right.
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple of days ago. There was up here. There's a new museum of the supernatural that's opened, and because there's a lot in the northeast of England, there's a lot of old houses, castles that are the most haunted. And I went in there, and the people who work there are actually supernatural investigators who take it quite seriously. And I told them I don't actually believe in the supernatural at all, but I know there's loads of things that haven't been explained, and it'd be very interesting to look for explanations. That's what interests me. I can't, there are loads of instances of things where there's no direct scientific explanation because science hasn't got there yet. And part of science is trying to find out what it is. And that is why when people say science doesn't have all the answers, well, yes, science knows that. That's why it's science.
Self-correcting.
Thank you. Thank you. I go crazy when, sometimes you get, maybe it's less bad in the UK, I don't know. Sometimes you get these movement atheists over here who are just like, well, science, they don't believe in science, they believe in scientism. They don't understand that not knowing everything and maybe being wrong sometimes is fucking part of it. And, you have to... Science can give certainty about some things, and it may eventually give certainty about practically everything. But it hasn't yet.
I think
You know?
everything that you've said
Yeah.
about the way that your organization practices and sort of like does the ritualistic work, it all sounds incredibly healthy and positive. And this kind of like DIY approach that you take to it and sort of like meeting the needs of what's happening in front of you at that moment just sounds really, really healthy and useful.
Well, I think when I became theistic, I took many of my critiques of theism from my time as an atheist with me to the extent that I could, which obviously is not infinite. But where was I going with that? I guess that's it. That's the whole thing.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
You're not the only one who's come from a radical atheist background, not family background, but I used to be an atheist. I would have called myself a fundamentalist atheist in the style of people like Richard Dawkins that think, well, if you believe in anything like that, you're an idiot.
I didn't want to bring up Dawkins by name because I was like, maybe someone here likes Dawkins and I don't want to be rude. But
no, arsehole.
Yeah.
Arrogant, humorless tit. He's fucking, yes.
Absolutely.
I want to ask a frivolous question.
Yeah.
So, I looked at the resources that you have on the website, and it's all very... There's a lot of substance to your church, clearly. But
we try.
Satan is also, I think we can all agree, is also style. And I wanted to take some style notes from your church, from you personally. What do you like? What inspires you?
Oh, man. I love that. So, wow, there's so much to say. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the artist collective page.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cute. We have a few artists in the church. I do art myself. I don't consider myself an artist, but I create images, of demons. I create devotional artwork just for my own use. I think Satan is the god of rock and roll, for one thing. And arguably of all secular music. Because when secular music started to become more popular, the church, and this is like the Middle Ages, was initially very like, no, that's devil shit. You can't do that. I'm very inspired by occult artists. I really love the work of Marjorie Cameron, Hilma Af Klint. I just deleted my entire brain. Who do I like? God damn it.
Give us a list.
Steffi Grant, Kenneth Grant's wife. I don't have much use for him, but I think that her drawings were really amazing. Rosaline Norden, Witch of King's Cross from Australia. What the fuck is her name? Leonora Carrington. I fucking love her. And there's so much... Honestly, actually, I've been looking at art history of the devil recently. I was just rewatching this BBC documentary called How the Devil Got His Horns. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but you can find it on YouTube. That's great. Yeah. I mean, Satan is style and beauty and pleasure.
Oh, there are so many depictions of hot Satan in art.
Yeah, there are. Well, and actually, my sermon today is about essentially hot Satan versus scary, ugly Satan, and the importance of also embracing scary, ugly Satan. Yeah, using the framework of Gora and Agora, which are Sanskrit words for fearsome and non-fearsome aspects of deities. And so I'm kind of talking about, the example of these depictions of Shiva as, the more familiar beautiful, meditating, serene Shiva versus Bhairava, who is the tantric deity of the charnel grounds, and then comparing, like sexy hot Satan statue to these like grotesque images of Satan like chewing on humans in hell, and no. So
That's
it's on my
amazing.
mind. Yeah.
Maybe we can have some of these artists'
I
names
would-
in the
I will-
show notes.
Yeah,
That was
I'll
what I was
send
going to
you-
ask. Yes, send
I'll
me a
send
list
you
of the
all
names,
kinds of stuff for the show notes. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'll put them. Yeah, I'll put them in the show notes, and I'll put links in. Also, help me spell the names correctly when I edit the transcription, because
I'll try to
AI is going to mess
remember-
them up.
I'll try to remember everything that's come out of my mouth while I'm geeking out.
Right.
We're doing
Yeah.
pretty well. We're doing pretty well. Any more questions from Pike, Ligeia, Leraje?
No, I'm done.
Right.
think-
Anything you want to ask us, Pastor Johnny? I should mention this podcast is not affiliated to any org, as in we are self-financed. So it's not paid through any organisation. However, we are all members of Helltraef, which is our
Cool.
atheistic Satanist organisation. So when we mention, because we haven't mentioned it previously on the podcast, really, it's kind of been a non-affiliated Satanist podcast. So if you have any questions about Helltraef or anything like that, then now's the time.
Yeah, I guess I do have a question, but I feel like it's quite a complex one potentially. And it comes down to, how's it going in the UK being a Satanist? Because it's hard to keep track of what's going on over there with the shit show we have going on over here. But
I think a lot of it goes back to what you and I were talking about earlier with this kind of like cultural. It's religion over here. It's not really that big a thing. It's culturally. I mean, some people go to church. A lot of people don't. Christianity is a minority. I mean, the non-Christians are in a majority in this country, so it's not really. So to be a Satanist has more. It's not something that you would necessarily tell the world, but it's also not something that you particularly need to keep.
right.
We don't
Too
talk
hidden.
about religion that much
No.
in general
Okay.
here.
No, it's not. I
It's not
think
the
according
topic.
to the latest census, that agnosticism and sort of atheism now is kind of like almost half the population.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, given the joke I told about Church of England earlier. Is it's not particularly,
No,
Yeah.
we kind
passionate
of
or devout.
No, it is, even people who are in the C of E kind of regard it as a bit of a sort of diet Catholicism.
But
Sure.
I think this could change, because we're seeing a lot of sort of evangelist, far-right Christian
Yeah.
impetus getting exported from US. And I'm saying
Yeah,
exported
well-
from US, actual money moving in.
All
and
our
that
far-right
fascists.
Yeah.
Well,
They are all getting funding from sort of like the big money that's behind some evangelical American groups, the likes of Tommy
Yeah.
Robinson and, the Reform UK and parties like that are fascist shitheads, basically.
well,
And
it's so
then
interesting.
they claim religion. Now, they are Christians, but it's just like, no, they're all about money and fascism.
It's so interesting trying to comprehend the culture of the UK from over here, and how your conservatism works, because it's very unintuitive.
I think
I've actually been reading. Yeah.
a sort of rough. So the Democrats in the US would probably be the Conservatives over here, the Tory Party, the Conservative Party. Reform
Center
is-
right, yeah.
Yeah, Reform
Okay.
probably think of them as kind of like Trump light type thing, and
Sure.
verging into full Trump as they get more power.
Yeah.
I think Europe on a whole largely leans a little bit more left than the US.
Yeah, sure. But I think Britain leans a little right compared to most of Europe.
Yeah. That's definitely true. Yeah.
Yes.
Depends what you take as a marker. If you take, for example, trans rights, you can compare US with UK. UK is doing quite badly.
Well,
I know.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking embarrassing.
It's terrible. Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny because I've actually been reading a book about the Spanner case in the UK. I don't know if you're familiar, but, when essentially they just criminalized sadomasochism. And that was really kind of shocking to me because it was a conservatism that I feel is not often reflected. But apparently those laws are still all on the books over there, even if they're not enforced. So, go figure.
We've got
loads of weird
bullshit laws
laws
from the 12th century still going on over here. It's fucking
totally
crazy.
Totally. Yeah, well, okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was really, really... I mean, this was excellent. I've learned an awful lot about stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah.
You're obviously an extremely well-informed and, you've done a lot of research on the subject. And, I love what you've told us about what you've been doing. I don't know how everyone else feels about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really... It's really good.
It's okay if you hate me too. I can handle it.
Okay.
No. Absolutely the opposite. It's been fantastic having you on.
Yeah.
And I hope our listeners get as much from it as well. Really, really excellent.
Am I allowed to plug one thing?
Go.
Yes. You can plug however much you like.
So we do have a book that we've put out. It's called This is Church of the Morningstar. We've got Hot Satan on the cover. And it's an anthology of our writings for the first, how many years have we existed? 7? More than 7? Yeah. I can't do math. But it's definitely like mainly intended for our membership. But if you're interested in some of the research that I was talking about like the history of specific demons, etc., there's stuff in there that you might enjoy. And just, we have fiction in there, poetry, not too much poetry.
Send us links to where people can... Oh yeah,
it should ship to the UK. It's also available as an ebook as well.
Okay.
Can you send us the links to where people can buy it?
I will. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all going to be in the show notes, listeners.
Yeah.
Lots of the show notes.
So the next book club is done?
Oh yeah, that's an idea. We could
I don't know.
Some of the it looks like quite a tome, but
it's a tome. Yeah.
But then, we have done, or certainly Ligeia and Leraje have done sort of like collections of short stories and done short stories one at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have.
And, the other thing about this is you don't necessarily need to read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
It is a fucking tome, but many of the individual essays and segments and chapters are quite short. Mm-hmm. And it's meant to be read around in, it's an anthology. Yeah. And there's, material like ritual scripts and things that might not be of use or interest to some people. So,
I'm always interested to see.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Good to know. Thank you.
Fantastic.
I will get it.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. I'm definitely going to get myself a copy.
Yeah.
Yep,
probably ebook. It might be easier to ship, but I'll have a look.
Yeah, I'll look into the UK international shipping situation after I get out of here.
Okay.
Ligeia only does real books, don't you?
I only want real stuff. Sorry.
Lucifer
lives here. I can't use ebooks. Come on, you just said that. Nothing works. Fucking hell. It would never work for me. I am surprised you can see me. What the fuck?
I'm right there with you. One thing I love about a real book is there's not going to be fucking notifications popping up on it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Please update this book to OS version.
Man, you guys really need to get into your alternative ROMs, because you don't have to have that with an ebook if you don't want it. There are ways. But
Yes. Anyway, we shall not talk about things like that
No,
on here.
no.
We're strictly law-abiding.
Yeah,
Anyway,
of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and it's been a joy to have Pastor Johnny on to tell us.
It's been so fun.
Oh yes, it has been so informative. Honestly, it's brilliant.
It really has.
This is the kind of thing we live for. So thank you everyone for listening. I've been Lithos. I know I didn't say it at the beginning. I didn't introduce myself. Very poor etiquette. I was
Shocking.
too busy making up rhymes about sweaty bollocks.
I mean, that should be the priority, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, okay. I've been Lithos. Hail Satan. Leraje.
Hail Satan.
Ligeia.
Hail Satan.
Pike.
Hail Satan, symbolic and real.
And our very special guest, Pastor Johnny.
Let's see if I can do it again. Hail Satan!
Yes, that's what we like.
Yes, please.
Yes. Excellent. We are here to talk to Pastor Johnny about the First Church of the Morningstar, and I
Indeed.
can still hear an echo. Sorry, I can hear an echo from somewhere.
I'm hearing
I
it
don't
as
know where
well.
it's coming from. That is going to be
How about now?
awkward.
How about
Wait a
now?
minute.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. What about now? No, I can't hear it now.
You need to speak.
Is it
Hello?
coming from?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
still echoing.
Still
Yes,
there.
it's coming
Yeah.
from your earbuds, I think.
Motherfuckers.
Sweat,
Sorry.
sweat.
Bring
Yes.
back the
Oh,
horns.
You
Sweat.
have
Bring
to
back
sweat
the
with
horns.
us. Yeah.
Hold on.
I knew there was some way I'd get you to put those fucking devil horns back on.
Yes. We
Your
need to
cunning
sweat
plan.
together.
Right,
Sorry.
okay,
Still-
we're going to have to do all that fucking shit again.
Sorry.
Okay.
Still echo.
We
It's still
don't need
echo-
to do the 10-second countdown.
It's still echoing.
Hello?
Still
Is
echoing.
it?
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm not getting.
Yeah, there is a bit.
What, you want me to mute?
Yep. Hello?
Hi.
It's definitely seems to have gone now. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like it was Leraje.
Oop.
Right.
Shit. That's weird. Ah.
You haven't switched your earphones off. They're still lying there and broadcast.
Yeah.
We're not normally rank amateurs like this, you know. Sorry.
Yes, we are. Yes, we fucking are.
This is exactly like always.
Every time.
Jesus.
It's all good.
Something
If you-
is feeding back.
If you take the earphones and then you wrap them in tin foil and then you put them
Right,
in the micro.
I shall stop the record. So, yes. There's... That was the first Hail Satan was better. I'll edit this bit out, don't worry.
I was just like, that was all the death metal growl I have in me.
In here, yeah, I know. I might actually
that's
use
it.
the one from the first recording, the first Hail Satan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, so we will launch. We'll go into the next bit. Don't worry, this is all edited out. So,
What's going on? I froze again. I'm totally frozen.
You did.
Hello, am I back?
A weird thing
Yes.
happened to you.
it will
Okay.
probably all come through in the end because, like I say,
Yeah.
it's recording it asynchronously. But it'll all come
I will
clean in
tell
the
you,
edit.
electronics acting a little strange sometimes. And there we go.
Mm.
Did y'all hear that part?
No.
you
Electronic
froze.
acting up.
Lucifer!
I said sometimes.
Right, let's do the outros.
Oh.
So, thank you very much yet again for listening. This has been a really, really excellent episode too. No, I'll let me do that again. Excellent episode. What the fuck am I talking about? Sounds
Toot
like a
your
hospital
horn.
radio DJ. Jesus Christ on a fucking bike. Right, okay.
Go.
Get it together, Lithos. Get it together.